So I have this going live on YouTube and do-ba-do-boo, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Mic is off. My mic is on. Allegedly people can hear me. I don't know. Can people hear me? Spaces, can you hear me? Give me just a second, Spaces. I am checking things out on YouTube as well as Facebook. Excellent condition on YouTube. That is wonderful. Let's see how this goes. I made somebody laugh on Facebook. Oh my God, is Emily here? Emily, are you here? Emily, can you hear me? Give me a second. I'm trying to get into that group. Which is, so it's not that group, because we had to get rid of that group because, man, people in X, don't go to Facebook. They do not like us there. Oh my God, it is Emily. I love you. Hey, babe, how you doing? I would love to say something like that, but I can't because I'm actually streaming to Twitter X Spaces right now, as well as YouTube. Man, is my screen full. I should take a picture of this and show it to you. So now I'm currently streaming to 3 different platforms, which is neat. And I want to see how Spaces works. Get more people to join. How do I do that? Do I just do this copy link as share? What am I doing here? Facebook Spaces here. I'm listening. So I'm listening to you, Bay. What's going on? You're currently zoning at Walmart and town. Okay, cool. Enjoy that. I will, so let's say, oh my God, somebody's listening. Who's listened? It's allegedly me. Okay, that's the extent of what I'm doing here. If anybody wants to comment or do something, you have to freaking tell me how. I don't know. I don't know how this crap works. And Emily, this show's for you because you're the one who showed up. I'm so glad you showed up. I'm so glad I texted you. Oh my God, my wife's about to do laundry and I'm going to lose my mind. I'm not losing my mind because nobody watches my show except for Emily. And Bree and her mom on the rebroadcast. And sometimes Ray allegedly. I'm really funny if you get stoned first. So anyways, I guess I'll just, Emily, I'm going to try to do it from the top, and I'm going to talk to you about all kinds. Bree's here. So Bree isn't even watching the Bree broadcast, the Bree broadcast. The Breecast. It's Breecast. Welcome to Bree. In my coffee cast. So, ladies, here's what I'm going to do. So, we've talked a lot, and we're going to talk more about, so I got this book from Scott Adams. Don't hide that name. And I have some clarity around some stuff, and so I think I have an idea on what I'm doing, but hear me out, because we've been doing this shit for 3 years, and we're going to do this for another 3 years, and then maybe Bree, and after that 3 years, after like 6 years, I'll be ready for CNN, if they still exist, which they won't. They will. There'll still be a husk of a shell of CNN, but whatever. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try treating the show professionally. Excuse me. See, I use my manners. There you go. Every time I also make one of my jokes, I might go ahead and use like a Jersey or East Coast accent so people realize that I'm actually making a joke. So it's like, I can't make that joke. Sorry, I have Vivek Ramaswamy in my face in front of me going like he's about to say something. And if I like go down that road, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble. So I'm not going to go down that road. Man, people are talking about Logan Paul and Nazis and Burning Man on Twitter and Elon Musk. We'll get to that. Anyways, but here's my point. I'm going to treat this show like a professional show. This is going to be a professional production. And I'm going to work on being way more professional about this. And then eventually I can go on my crusade to conquer all of Cascadia. I've given up I've given up the goal of conquering the world. I don't think it's going to happen, but I sure as shit could take like British Columbia, Washington State, and Oregon. Man, these people are, I, like Napoleon, did not steal the crown. I found it lying in the gutter. And see, that was a joke, feds, because I used my East Coast accent. See, so anyways, from the top, my name is Jacob Robertson. I'm a real estate agent in the Pacific Northwest. If you know anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, I'm honest. I'll go ahead and tell most of you, like, hey, don't buy, or hey, buy. It just depends on whatever your circumstances are. Like, most real estate agents and mortgage brokers are going to say, it's the best buy to buy. Go ahead, because they care about their commissions. Whereas, like, I care about my commissions. However, I can pay my bills comfortably. Like, we're doing okay, so I don't need to like screw every single person I see out of money. Bree has faith in me, brother. I have faith in you, sister cousin. Queer sister cousin. My queer sister cousin. Does that sound like a thing? Emily, did I just go ahead and like find a niche on Tumblr on accident? Anyways, so I'm also looking at getting licensed in insurance. So, and specifically life insurance. Now, specifically, life insurance is a way of avoiding paying taxes, really, and also fees. So, being able to loan yourself money through your life insurance. So basically, what you do is you turn your life insurance policies to like into a bank, and then you pay less in fees. Which is some bull ass, but that's fine. It actually works. So go ahead and do that. Do the tricks that the rich people do, because there's no point in being moral in our society. Not anymore, ladies. So show me your titties. I'm kidding. Don't show me your titties. You should actually you should hang on to your titties, because it's going to get crazy. Now, what do you ladies want to talk about? I have some shows which I would show you, but I don't know how to show you because I'm twittering with my phone. Hey, sorry if that jolted you guys Twitter, but I needed to show the ladies what's up, because they can see my face even though you can't see my face because I'm not periscoping or whatever the crap you do on Twitter, because I'm not giving Elon no $8 for this shit. Anyways, so I do have Brie, I have a ton of stuff to talk about, but my notes are a mess because I wasn't able to really organize my notes because I was hanging with a baby on my chest. Which actually spurs what I'm going to go ahead and talk about. So Emily, I reached out to the ladies and I was like, what do you want to talk about next show? And Emily was like, I want to talk about babies. Actually, she said, what's the difference between 1 and 2, if I remember correctly? Let me see if I can actually pull that up. I want to hear, I want to hear update on being a parent of 2 and how it's changed the house or hasn't. Damn, it's changed the shit out of the house. Emily, what are you thinking? And then Ray wants to know how to put up kids for adoption. It helps when they're cute and young. Ray, you might be screwed. But there's other things you can do. I would just run her, dude. I would run her like a freaking sled dog. And just wear her out until the next day she wakes up and she's like, oh, I'm terrible again. Then it's like, you get in your freaking kennel and run. And then maybe she runs so much that she stops being awful. That's my advice for now. I'll let you know when I have kids, and then your kid will be in her 20s, and then we'll go from there. So updates on being a parent of 2 and how it's changed the house or hasn't. So ways that it's changed everything. So we had we bought a minivan. So that's how things changed. So I went from having my nice 4-banger economy car that I use. It's not an economy car, but it's my 4-banger sedan, which I use to jet around the city. And it's the perfect little urban assault scoot vehicle. I can go up into the mountains because it has the rack and everything. And it's got a decent enough suspension. Anyways, so trying to get freaking 2 kids in a sedan, that don't work. And so then what happened is the car died. Oh my God, do I have a story for you about the car dying, but I'm not even going to get there right now. But I'll go ahead and skip to the end. I was literally driving down the road with a battery pack attached to the battery with the hood open, going down one of the arterial streets in my city to go ahead and just make it the 3 blocks to the mechanic. Because that's how I roll. I ain't gonna tow that shit 3 blocks. Are you serious? No, give me the battery pack. I'm gonna save me $500 and possibly get a ticket. And definitely some looks. I got a lot of looks doing that one. But anyways, and so the car's not working. It's okay, great. Well, our small car is not working. So we tried out we went ahead and just rented, cause what am I gonna do? So I rented a nice Highlander SUV. And so then it's okay, let's get the girls in the SUV. Oh, wait a second. They're tiny. And so it's okay, I need to lift up the child, the littlest one, the baby, into the car seat and whatever. And then I also have to lift up the bigger little one, so the toddler, because she can't get in. She can't get in on her own. She's not. Wait! You child, shut the your whore mouth, the baby, into other the me car seat and whatever. And then I also have to lift up. God, I hate Facebook so much. No. Jesus shit. No, and I don't want to close. No. Why? Go away, Cole Jenkins. I'm trying to. There we go. Now we go over here. Okay, they're off. Thank Christ. So, anyways, I'm trying to like lift up these children. Like I'm trying to heave them on top of the mountain while trying to get them into an SUV. And it's like, do I want to deal with this for 3 years, babe? Do I really want to like, I make it sound like it's terrible, but it's also like it's not that bad. But it's also terrible. Like, is an SUV the most practical thing with 2 small children? No. Big ass kids, yeah. So we did discover that our next vehicle after the Toyota Sienna that I just bought, which was quite lovely. It's an urban assault vehicle. It's peppier than I thought it would be. It could seat an army. I could probably mount turrets on the damn thing. I got to be honest. I'm all about that minivan life. Like, me and freaking. If you see me and the Taliban rolling up in freaking 4 minivans. There's going to be 30 dudes piling out of those 4 vehicles. Minivan life. How do I do that? How do I do that gang sign? I'll do it like that. So, like, the really cool gang members, what they do is, like, their fingers make, like, 2 letters. So it's going to be like that. Minivan life. ML. Machine learning life. Bree, help me out. Bree, be my producer. What the hell am I talking about here? Minivans. I'm gonna kid. Okay, so here's the thing about the minivan. Little one, she can go ahead and crawl up in the minivan, no problem. She can even crawl up into her seat. That's great. And then with the other one, it's like, oh, I just go ahead and sit her. Oh, dogs. Hey, dogs in the mini. And they're, oh, I don't need to lift them up into my SUV. That's great. I don't even need. Oh, they're just right in. Oh, hey, want to bring some friends over? Hey, Emily, Bree, Ray, we could just throw you in the back, and then all of us go cruising around the Cascade Mountains. Oh no, I need to pass somebody on the mountains. It's a good thing I have a 6-cylinder engine. And then, you just got passed by a minivan. F you. And so Bree's going to go ahead and type in real quick. I had a Nissan Xterra when Ollie was a baby, and it was a stick. Absolute nightmare. Yeah, those things also get really bad gas mileage. The Nissan Xterra is pretty cool in some ways. It's like gigantic. But it's not, and I actually like a stick shift, but I don't know how I'd feel about a stick shift SUV with a baby. I'm a stick shift 4-banger maximalist. Like, I believe in stick shift sedans and economy cars and little peppy Hondas. They're a lot of fun to drive. So Emily, that's one way it changed. Oh crap, and I just swipe the screen. What are some other ways that it changed? Like, it depends on the baby. So first baby, colic, hardly ever slept. This one, we don't have that problem, but she likes to sleep on her chest all the time. Like, her purpose is to be on us. Get rid of your damn captions, Facebook. And so her purpose is to be on her chest and sleeping. Like, she's just like, I love sleeping on your chest more than anything. And then you move, and then she's like, oh shit, why did you move? I'm awake now. And then you're like, no, please don't. I want you to go back to sleep, please. But yeah, whatever. So that's, how do I describe this? It's like, I had no time before Emily, and I now realize how much less time I have. Okay? There's like, so I talked to you ladies about doing a show on Wednesday, and now it's Sunday. And it almost didn't happen today. That's how things change. So, like, whatever sort of dreams and plans and wishes you want, get it out of your damn system now. Do it now. If you want to do something to your house, do it. And then we got a Lincoln Navigator. It was like driving a bus. Yeah, Lincoln Navigators are actually, they're quite nice. I enjoy driving them. If I had married a Republican instead of your cousin, I'd probably have a Navigator. I would get one. And now Facebook's saying the video's over. And I don't believe that for a second. That sounds like fake news, Facebook. But I can't figure out. Actually, I could. I mean, I could figure out whatever latency issue is a problem right now, but I don't have the time to do it, Emily. So does that answer your question? Oh yeah, we don't have no sex. Like, so like if you thought having sex was a great idea, don't have a baby. Don't have a 3-year-old and a newborn. Which I did know going into it that it'd be a little bit rough. Luckily, the new one's a sleeper, so when she is asleep, as long as she's like in bed sleeping or whatever, or we're not transferring her or moving her, dude, she's out. She will sleep through anything, so that's pretty awesome. As far as maturity, here's some things that changed. So I had a concern, how will I possibly ever love this second child as much as my first? Oh, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. I went ahead and just loved this second one just fine. She's awesome. She's fantastic. In fact, I love the first one a little bit more. In fact, I love humanity a little bit more. My capacity for love has increased. So is my maturity. So it was like an instant, like, boom, here's a boost to your maturity. You want to mature, have 2 kids. And if you don't, you're a shit parent, and damn, I feel sorry for your kids. Because I do know a bunch of people who had kids, and, like, they did not grow up. Like, and it's really sad. Because their kids deserve better than that. Kids deserve good parents. And unfortunately, I don't think most of them get that. Our privileged little shits do, but that's about it. Man, Bree, Emily, my kids have it so good. I think I've kind of beaten that horse into the ground. Not so much I've beaten that horse in the ground, but I don't really have that much to say about it, and I have a bunch of other things to talk about. And we'll see if I get to it. Bree, if you could really, like, kids deserve good parents. They do. They absolutely deserve good parents. Holy shit. Like, I feel so... It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Like, if there was one magic... Like, if I had Thanos' freaking gauntlet and I had to snap, like, I'd like to think that I would snap... Like, my snap would get rid of all the people who leave trash on the ground. Like, that's my biggest pet peeve. God, I hate it when people just throw their fucking trash on the ground. But... it would actually be good parents. Like, I would snap my fingers and all of a sudden everybody would be a good parent. And then, oh, wow, we got rid of all of our fucking problems. Jesus, but whatever. I don't have the gauntlet. I haven't gotten the Hogwarts letter. I'm doing my part, God. I guess I'll just have this show. And I'll be like, hey, kids, be good parents. Grow up and be good parents. Be the parents that you wish you had. Which is somewhat what I'm doing. Although I discovered that there's also some stuff that's baked into the cake. Like, son of a bitch, do I have a temper. And man, the kids can really trigger that. And like, even my wife was just like, you need to go hang out with your friend. Like, you need to get out of the house. And I'm like, oh, yay, totally awesome. Yeah, I think I'm going to get it out of the house now. Emily, are you still there? If you're not, I love you. I'll see you later, Emily. So here's something I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my show and try to bang through the notes and see how much I can actually cover. Now, here is... Okay, wait, how do I refresh on freaking Brave? So, for whatever reason, Twitter/X is not working well on computers, as well as, like, it's sure as shit not working well on Safari. I don't know what's going on. But I digress. So here is Vivek Ramaswamy. If you don't know who he is, he's running for... And actually, Bree, I'm going to pause. I want to sidebar real quick. How does the format of my show work where I talk about everything? You and I are political junkies. Like, I accept the fact that, you and I are political junkies, and we're probably in that, like, the 2% of most informed Americans there are. Fair? Is that fair? I'm not saying we're in that 2% of smartest, because we're in that 1% of smartest. Shit, they're dumb. But, so we're the ones who are informed consuming all this stuff. But I don't know how much Emily cares about any of this stuff. I don't know how much, Lindy cares about any of this stuff. I don't, my mom's political junk, but she ain't watching my show no more. I don't know how much Ray cares. I don't. So here's the problem that I have with skating to the puck or figuring out what to do. And actually, this is going to come, this is going to get into it. This clip that I have right here somewhat gets into it. But what I'm wondering is, so I'm talking about family, and then I'm talking about driving around in vehicles, and I'm going to talk about politics, and I'm going to talk about some other news headline stuff. Is this a good format? Yes or no? Please comment, subscribe. Anyways, I was just trying to sound some of that stuff off because there's a problem that I'm running into, and I'll try to get into it with these Vivek clips. But anyway, so if you guys don't know who Vivek Ramaswamy is, he is running for the Republican nomination for President of the United States for the 2024 election. He is a pharmaceutical billionaire, self-made guy, very smart, and he is probably the best we have ever seen in regards to watching a politician handle journalists. I don't know if anybody's better. Yes, it is your personality that brings us all in. That's great, but what about the fucking idiots? We'll get back to that, Brie. Let's listen to some Vivek, and so I can talk about this. And I don't even remember the clip. I just clipped it and put it in something a while ago.
gave an interview to, you said, quote, "I think it is legitimate to say how many federal agents were on the planes that hit the Twin Towers. Maybe the answer is 0. It probably is 0 for all I know, right? I have no reason to think it was anything other than 0, but if we're doing a comprehensive assessment of what happened on 9/11, we have a 9/11 commission. Absolutely, there should be an answer the public knows the answer to." Explain to me what you meant there.
This is really, it's funny. I mean, The Atlantic is playing the same game as CNN. It's funny. What I said is, on January 6th, I do believe that there were many federal agents in the field and we deserve to know who they are. On 9/11, what I've said is that the government lied. And this is incontrovertible evidence, Caitlin. The government lied about Saudi Arabia's involvement. There was a Saudi spy named al-Bayoumi who they lied, and the government lied, and the 9/11 Commission lied. We know that because declassified reports in 2021 revealed that al-Bayoumi was indeed. What's that?
Yeah, the report that President Biden declassified. Yes. But your quote here, are you telling me that the quote is wrong
20 years later,
here?
yeah.
But are you telling me that your quote is wrong here because it says how many federal agents were on the planes
I actually asked,
Twin Towers?
Yeah, when I actually, and this is just lifting the curtain on how media works again, I asked that reporter to send the recording because it was on the record. He refused to do it. But we had a free-flowing conversation. The truth is there are lies the government has told about 9/11, but it's not the ones that somebody put in my mouth.
Just say, in case you missed that, he's saying that the reporter from The Atlantic is making up a quote and that they quote him out of context. If you're ever running for political office, or just in general, if you ever talk to the media, only do, and this is for Emily, Ray, everybody who ever fucking listen. If there's one thing if I get struck by lightning tomorrow, here's the one thing to remember. If you talk to the media, record the whole fucking thing. The whole thing. The moment you walk into the room, not even mic'd up, just like, oh my God, I'm walking into the room where the media is, start recording, okay? And don't stop recording until you're like, oh, I'm leaving the Shark Tank. And then do that, okay? And if they're not going to let you record it, don't do the interview, okay? You don't fucking trust these people.
It's the one that I articulated, which is that Saudi Arabia, absolutely, their intelligence was involved in 9/11. And that's a difficult thing you're not supposed to say.
They were.
The facts back that up. Separately, as it relates to January 6th, same story all over again. There were federal agents in the field. I think they've lied about how many there were, and we, the people, deserve the truth, despite the layers of distortion that exist in the media to prevent us from getting it.
You're saying that you were misquoted here, so we will take your word.
Yes.
You're saying that you were misquoted here, but you were asked another time recently about whether or not 9/11 was an inside job. This is what your response was.
9/11 inside job, or exactly how the government tells us?
I don't believe the government has told us the truth. Again, I'm driven by evidence and data. What I've seen in the last several years is we have to be skeptical of what the government does tell us. I haven't seen evidence to the contrary, but do I believe everything the government told us about it? Absolutely not.
Last
two
questions.
The 9/11 Commission? Absolutely not.
I mean, Vic, I think people look at those comments.
So I don't know what Caitlin Collins is going to say, but Emily, is that entirely reasonable? Don't trust the government. Like, don't believe the government when they tell you about terrorist attacks and wars. Oh, because it turned out they were lying the whole time. That's weird. Okay. So it's reasonable. So what I'm saying is Vivek Ramaswamy has a very reasonable view of 9/11. In fact, I think I think it's reasonable because it's mine. What do I think 9/11 was? I totally think it's Caitlin Collins is a tool shed. Yeah, she has a strong jaw, though. I would have a strong jaw if I wasn't so fat, but whatever. Maybe I should stop eating cheese. It's actually eating ice cream, Brian. That's really it. But I do have these Diet Pepsis on accident because we threw a party and my wife got Diet Pepsi and nobody drank them, so now I got a cube, suckers. Oh yeah, but 9/11. What does Jacob think about 9/11? Oh, I think it was the Saudis. Why do I think the Saudis attacked us on 9/11? Oh, because we have a bunch of military bases in their holy land. Do you think they'd be upset about it? Yeah. Have you ever met the Muslims? The end. Oh, what about Building 7? Oh, well, Building 7 got hit with a couple of buildings and it got set on fire and there was a giant burning trash fire and they didn't have any water to put out the fire, so I think that's why it fell. But that's the first time. Shut up. I don't care about your stupid opinions, idiots. Apparently you're not correct for my show. Also, by the way, ladies, quick question. How's the sound? Like, does it sound good? Is it echoey? Oh, yeah, Bree says it was the Saudis. It's the most reasonable opinion in the world. How's the sound? Is it vibrating? Is it echoey? I tried, I realized I let my office room studio kind of fall into disarray. And so I'm trying to deal with, reining the sound back in. So is it good? Is it bad? You let me know. I'm going to go back to this real quick because we'll be done with the tool shed in a second.
They look at what you said in the Atlantic, which you say you were misquoted. They look at comments that you've made about the Federal Reserve adding zeros to media companies' bank accounts. And I mean, it looks like you're floating conspiracy theories with this defense of I'm just asking questions.
Well, when you actually quote me...
Actually, I got to stop real quickly. So just asking questions. You got to check this one out. Just asking. So this is called the jacking off fallacy, which is just asking questions. So anyways, I think that's funny, but I'm done.
Those are my words, and I stand by them. So somebody else quoting me, putting words in my mouth, I have a problem with. But those words I stand by. You want to know why? Because we literally know the FBI, the 9/11 Commission, the U.S. government on down told us specifically that Saudi Arabia had no involvement. 20 plus years later, quietly declassifying documents showing that not only did Saudi Arabia have involvement, it was a Saudi intelligence agent that received two of those terrorists that crashed planes on 9/11, killing Americans.
And they were also our CIA assets, too. Did you know that one?
Is 9/11 an inside job? And you didn't say no.
Caitlin,
that's what I think people were looking at.
Caitlin, you know what's really funny? You literally just played that, and you could play it for your audience again. He said, or do you believe everything the government has told us? And my answer was, I do not believe everything the government has told us.
But you see
because
the point.
They lied.
The point is
and
that
I know
it leaves
this game
the door
comes
open.
up, Caitlin, every time there's an outsider who comes in.
It leaves the door open, Vivek. It leaves the door open, and someone who's
Caitlin,
a 9/11 truther
we
looks
have a
at that
government
and
that
says,
systematically
that's exactly
lies.
what I believe. You think the government's lying about 9/11?
I think the government has systematically and for a very long time lied about 9/11. And I think I'm the only presidential candidate who has told us the truth. Saudi Arabia's involvement. It is absolutely true.
But you don't think that
Saudi
9/11 was an inside job,
in 9/11.
correct?
Of course not. And I've never said it. But the media filters do.
But see, there we go. So that's really what the point of like this whole Vivek thing that I wanted to get at. So, and Bree still pro-Iraq war, don't judge me. I'm past, well, no, I'm still going to judge you, Bree. I'm never going to stop fucking judging you. I'd love to say that I'm past judging you, but I won't. But I'm not going to beat you up over that one, okay? Like, we don't need to hash this out. I'm a firm believer that it was not a justified war. You think it is, whatever, okay? You're a neocon. That's fine. A neoquan. I'm working on it. I'm trying to do like queer and con at the same time. Anyways, here's my point about Vivek, and actually, I'm not really sure what the... Oh, yeah, Vivek Beast Mode and that one guy's podcast. What was that one guy's... Oh, shit, that was another one. Okay, now I know. Now I remember what I'm talking about. Excuse my language. So Vivek Ramaswamy is able to go on, have a camera in his face, while some journalist is like, well, here's a bullshit article from a bullshit news organization called The Atlantic, and so I'm going to cite that as a source. And then he's like, oh, well, that's not a good source. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and cite some guy from The Blaze. And then you said the answer. He's like, yeah, I said the answer and I don't believe that. In fact, I answered the question. Well, why didn't you just say no? Well, because I had a more detailed response where I said the Saudis were involved in our intelligence agencies, blah, 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 and they lied about it, blah, 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 blah. And so she's trying to do a gotcha. And here's my point about the media. They act like we're stupid. Emily. The only thing that you need to do is sit there and watch them talk, and then you will understand that they're lying. It does not take much more than that. So the Atlantic used to be good. They all used to be good. But like what happened, I'm going to just tell you my quick theory of what happened. Boom, journalism became, actually, here's what happened. Everybody started going to universities in the United States starting 25 years ago instead of going to the trades or doing whatever, or going to vocational tech schools, technical schools. And so we had a whole bunch of trust fund babies wind up going into like schools and then getting their journalism degrees, and then they got jobs at the newspapers and jobs at the like 24-hour news places and jobs wherever. Whereas, like, being a reporter back in the day was kind of like it was more of a trade. Like, you started at, like, your local, I don't know, your local freaking high school newspaper, and then you do like the college newspaper, and then you do like the bowling alley newspaper, and then they do like the the local community newspaper, and then you do like the bigger city like newspaper, and then the Wall Street Journal picks you up like 30 years after you've started your fucking thing. And I'm gonna get to your point in a second, Bree. And so what happened is it went from a trade to being like, oh, well, I went ahead and went to college, so where's my job? And so they turned into a bunch of entitled idiots, but they're also entitled idiots who have no critical thinking skills whatsoever. So like these old journos types, like all the guys who got fired over Iraq, can see that they can smell a fish when there's a fish. I don't know what's the term. They can smell a rat. Okay, they can smell a rat, and so they're like, oh, this is a bunch of crap. And so what all our oligarchs want, what are like I would say our political class wants, are people who are just order takers. Like, they show up, here's the story, they print it uncritically, and then they all share stuff. But what's happened is we have like a bubble of these fucking idiots like sharing their stupid perspective on stuff. And so I think they actually believe it. I think they honestly believe their lies. I really do. And so what happened, according to Bree, is Christopher Hitchens died, which that did not help. Now, Bree, you and I can both smell the rats. We really can. We can. We have different opinions on who the rats are, but some of that I think is just largely like maybe tribal. Like, I have a suspicion that you hold more people at CNN in high regard than I do as a function of watching CNN. Like, if I watch CNN every single day, I'd probably like some of those people. And so my bias is, I don't like nobody because all I do is talk to kids. Shit. So what I want to do is, next one is a podcast. Which, how in the crap I'm gonna find that? Let's see here. I'll try searching in Twitter so you can see me do this. So I don't even remember the journalist's name. Damn, this is gonna be interesting because I can't use my phone because my phone's tied up with spaces. Help me. Let me do comedy seller podcast. Station meetup, okay, never mind. Let's try podcast comedy Washington Post. If I can find it. That should probably do it. So it's live from the table. So what is it? Let me see real quickly. Philip Bump. So, Bump Podcast. Let's do it like that. So, I don't know what this clip is. This is from Greg Price, and I've seen his name before. I do not follow him. But some of the people I do follow him. And so, what happened is this guy, Philip Bump, I'll go right here. Look at that face. Look at that face. So, Caitlin Collins, oh my God, is Amy here? Son of a bitch. Hey, Amy. If you are here, I don't know. Because if you're commenting, I can't see it. I can't actually see my comments. Whose message? What is happening here? Is Amy here? Why did I get a ding? Son of a bitch, why am I streaming to 3 things at once? Okay. Actions, okay, that's great. I do have low frame rates per second. I don't know. So if anybody's commenting, all I can see right now are Bree's comments. So I apologize in advance. You can try texting me. Amy, if you're here, text me. Because I can still get text messages on my computer. But whatever. Anyways, so this fat sack of shit, who am I to judge, right? But anyways, so this fat sack of shit went on like some podcasts. He's the Mr. Hunter Biden guy. So like if there's anybody who can talk about Hunter Biden, he's the guy who can do it. And then here's this guy who I'd never heard before, interviewing him, and just look at his face. Like, just look at that face, and he's like, oh my dear God. So that's how this interview went. But let's go right here, and I'll make my point.
What do you take from the text message to his adult daughter? 100 text messages. I have to give 50% of my income to Pop.
I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that means.
Well, it's
I know it's circumstantial evidence, and you prefer that.
No, what could it be?
I have no idea.
But doesn't it?
I don't know.
Well,
I appreciate your.
Has anybody asked her?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't you think somebody should ask her?
Okay. Like I'm not. I just said I don't know, and I don't know what to make of it, so I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah,
what do you want me to say?
Yeah, but you say there's no evidence. But then there's a text message where he says, "I give Pop 50% of my money." That's evidence.
Okay. Well, okay, fine.
So
it's evidence. I appreciate you having me on.
It doesn't. That something like that. Who do you think is more? I listen to that and I'm saying,
you
can free to go.
I feel you want me to leave, like just walk out in the middle of this because that way you can
you can go.
Right.
Is this a standard? Really, this is the way the Washington Post handles people who disagree with them.
When I agree to be on for 45 minutes,
go,
and then
go.
I get on for an hour and 15. Yeah, then after a while I go. Thanks for having me.
What do you take from the text message to his adult?
But let's just listen to this one for a second, Emily. So here's his question. What do you take from the text message from Hunter Biden to his daughter in regards to his Hunter Biden text message? Good stop. And then there's Bree texting me. Amy Pellegrini's watching. Hey, Amy. I love you. You're beautiful. I'm not going to say any more about that because I almost got myself in trouble. Oh my God, it's showing up on the screen. We need to do that. So anyways, oh yeah, and text me, Amy. Where was I going with this? So the guy's saying like, okay, because this guy right here is like, well, I don't know what that means. How am I supposed to know what that means? How am I supposed to know about this? How, and here's the story. It's like, was Hunter Biden involved in some shady shit and was he making money off of his dad's name? This guy finally says, yeah, pretty much, yeah. It wasn't good. Did Joe Biden know about that? We have no proof that Joe Biden knew about that. How could we possibly know that Joe Biden knew about it? And so this guy's like, okay, well, what about this? What about this? And he's throwing out all these different things. And so it's not a gotcha, but he's just like, so Hunter Biden texted his daughter, I have to give Pops 50% of all my money. What does that mean? And the guy's like, I don't know what that means. Emily, if I told you, if we're talking and I'm like, oh my God, Emily, I got to give 50% of all my money to Pops. And you're going to be like, I don't know what that means. Maybe he's trying to order a burger or a shake. Or maybe he's talking about aliens. That's just fucking crazy. Okay? So let's play this clip again.
What do you take from the text message to his adult daughter? 100 text messages. I have to give 50% of my income to Pop.
I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that means.
Well, it's
I know it's circumstantial evidence, and you prefer that.
No, what?
And so he ad hominems him. So he's just like, oh, it's circumstantial evidence. Of course, you love that.
I have no idea.
But doesn't it?
I don't know.
Well,
I appreciate your.
Has anybody asked her?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't you?
Don't you think you should ask questions of powerful people who are the subject of stories in the media? I don't know.
You think somebody should ask her?
Okay. Like I'm not. I just said I don't know, and I don't know what to make of it, so I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah,
what do you want me to say?
Yeah, but you say there's no evidence, but then there's a text message where he says.
So according to Bree, when I yell, my sound gets tinny. That is great feedback. Thank you. I need to put up more sound dampening stuff.
I give Pop 50% of my money. That's evidence.
Okay. Well, okay, fine.
So
it's evidence. I appreciate you having me on.
It doesn't. That something like that.
And there's a little smirky.
Who do you think is more? I listen to that and I'm saying,
am I?
You can free to go.
I feel you want me to leave, like just walk out in the middle of this because that way you can
you can go.
Right.
Is this a standard? Really, this is the way the Washington Post handles people who disagree with them.
When I agree to be on for 45 minutes,
go.
And then I get on for an hour and 15. Yeah, then after a while I go. Thanks for having me.
He does the inauthentic laugh, which is a tell for a liar. And so what is my point here? It's like, I just gave you CNN and the Washington Post clearly distorting information to protect the political party of the Democrats. There you go. That's my point. That's it. That's my freaking point. Let's move on so I can move on down. So Vivek is a beast. That's good. Here's, it doesn't matter that much, but Shoe on Head gave me, and this is actually where I was going, like, 30 minutes later, we're getting to the point, Brie. So I was interacting on Twitter with Shoe on Head. Oh my God, I've made it. Shoe on Head's awesome. It's not a party anymore, lol. The Democratic Party. Well, it's the only party. We're moving into a single party system. And it's funny because it's weird. It's a single party system, which is neocons. Well, I don't know, whatever. But here's where I was getting at. So I don't remember exactly what it was. Shewon had put an article that was just like infuriating, and it was infuriating from 4 years ago. So it's even like pre-COVID, I think. I don't know. And I remember seeing it cycle around, and like the top, like the author, like it's like the news sources cut off, the dates cut off, all the information except for like the body of the articles there. and I recognized it. I was like, I remember when this came out. Like, and so I'm like, why are you doing this? And she's like, always be rage maxing. What does that mean? Bree, it means that in order for me to get any sort of traction on something like Twitter X, and I will continue to dead name X for a while, is I have to just piss people off. Like, I need to throw red meat to the crowd all the time. Like, I need, like, our current bread and circuses is just getting them angry. So I need to just get people angry all the time. And if I get people angry all the time, I'll go ahead and get more clicks as a result of it. And then I can build out my empire that way. So what am I supposed to do? The moral, like, really what my question is, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, I'm in like the algorithm has put me in some sort of gulag that I cannot get out of. And so it might just need to be word of mouth, and I work on it for 3 years while, handing out like business cards. Like, I'm just like, here's my show. Sometimes I'm on. You should subscribe. And then just do things that way. That might that might be the solution to it. I don't know. But you tell me, Brie. Also, I did have another idea, which I thought, your podcast idea with the cousins is a good one. Because, even with my schedule, so going back to Emily's question, how did things change? Being able to do a live show, Emily, give me a break. I could come up with the time to do an hour podcast every week. That, and also edit it and, publish it and do all that stuff. And even promote it. I could do a podcast a week. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'll continue writing articles when I can. I would like to get back to at least one article a week. But I could also do a Ray, what do you want to talk about? Nobody else matters. But I could do a podcast a week. I think I could do a podcast a week and then use that as a way of building up their brand. And then 3 years from now, when I can actually just be like, girls, Daddy's going to go do his nightly show because it's 5:30 and everybody's eating dinner and they're going to listen to Daddy. And they'll be like, okay. And then, they go do their thing for an hour, and then I can go do my thing for an hour, and then I come back and I'm like, hey, and then they go to bed. I think that's what I need to do. But let's go ahead and move on. Let me see. What do I have? Donald John Trump. Let's go to Tucker Carlson. And Ray, what do you want to talk about? Anything. It's all you. Are you stoned? You should listen to me when I'm stoned. I'm funnier, they say. So we have... What is... Oh, Majid Nawaz. There we go. So here's Tucker Carlson with his AI-generated photo, because a lot of people do that. And then there's him fishing. And I know I say this a million times. I'm not a Tucker stan, okay? I'm not the biggest fan of Tucker Carlson. I think he's actually quite toxic. But he does some good stuff. Nice haircut. Brie got a nice haircut? Are you talking about my haircut? You should have seen it 2 weeks ago when the crazy lady just shaved my head. I do not partake in the devil's lettuce. That's actually a really good thing. You shouldn't smoke weed, kids. Because it makes you stupid and lazy. And yeah, that's basically it. It makes you stupid. So here's where I want to talk about Donald John Trump questioned the importance of people's jobs. So if you guys didn't see this, I'm not going to promote Tucker Carlson's show, but episode 19, Debate Night with Donald Trump, I watched the Republican debates and I'm still mad about it. The shenanigans Fox News pulled was unbelievable. I was working on an article about it. I've got 60 draft articles. But what Fox News pulled was unbelievable. Like, Fox News, so Vivek Ramaswamy, guy from the top of the show, wound up getting into it with Mike Pence, and they were screwing with his audio. Literally, Fox News, they were screwing with his microphone. They were screwing with the audio during the freaking debate to turn Vivek down and turn Pence up. Where he says, I don't smoke the weeds, it makes me climb the walls and cry and lock myself in a bathroom. But that's the fun part. Here we go. So there was that, and then at the same time, debate night with Donald Trump, and so they had this 5. Look at how many likes that is. Like, once you get up to close to 1 million likes, that's something huge on Twitter. Like, that's huge. And then how many views? 264 million. Now, I would guess that really what that means is 20 million views plus. Like, I would just knock that into 10%. So Donald Trump did an interview with Tucker Carlson at the same time as the freaking Republican debate, and it got 26 million viewers, approximately. Or more, it might be more. I don't think it's less, but that's huge. To just go on freaking Twitter and stream for a bit, which is why I'm also streaming on Twitter. Follow me, subscribe to my Twitter. You can find me at I Love Space Force. Anyways, this shit's hilarious. I wish I could. I'm going to just show you one clip and then we can all vote for Donald Trump. Does that sound good? Trump, Harris, bus.
The way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will...
Okay, I need to find a better clip of that because they cut off the first part. Oh, so here I got the transcript for it. Trump on the Tucker Carlson interview. Kamala Harris talks in rhyme. Ha! What do you mean?
Go here and then the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. And it's weird. The whole thing is weird. This is not a president of the United States future.
And so I think about this subject of our yellow school buses in that regard. Because think about it, yellow school buses are our nation's largest form of mass transit. How about that? Every day. So yes, and let's applaud because it gets them where they need to go.
Anyways, whatever that person's doing. It's just so funny as shit. Anyways, where was I going with this? Let me see. Ray says, how do you get swole while dealing with teenage angst, working 70-hour weeks, all while trying to stay mentally stable? That is a fantastic question, Ray. Is that an honest answer? I would say what you want to do... in Seattle, middle schoolers have to take the metro to school. Yeah, and then actually, I bet Bree, can you tell me, has Seattle been cleaned up in the last few years? Is there less homeless people and shit everywhere? I imagine it's better. I imagine it's got to be better because I don't hear people bitching about it as much as really what it is. So Ray, that's a great question, and I want to turn you on to. Let me try this. Actually, no, I'm not going to ChatGPT it. What are the 3 largest muscle groups? You make your kid walk to school. Oh no, it still sucks. Okay, that sucks. Okay, I'm sorry. The glutes, medius, keys training from behind. Okay, so your legs. So Ray, I am not a trainer, so I don't want to give you some bad advice. As a context, here what I would recommend. Really, I'm going to throw this out there. You need to talk to a trainer, not me. With a limited amount of time, if I was trying to get swole and I had no time to do it, what I would do is every single day, I would do 100 Hindu squats. Those are air squats. They're a type of air squat. I would build up to that because I don't know what shape your knees are or whatever. You got strong hips and weak knees. It's a real battle. I believe that. So, yeah, that's squats. So I'd do like 100 Hindu squats 6 days a week. I'd give yourself like a Sunday or whatever to be a rest day. Get that training from behind is what Bree says, and she's correct. So that's number 2. Number 3 is deadlifts. So if you could just get a bar, because I imagine you're in an apartment and don't have a ton of space or a gym, you could just get a barbell and load some weight on it, and then 2 to 3 days a week. I would start out with 2. Just go ahead and do like 8 sets, or I'm not sorry, do like 4 sets of 8 deadlifts. So you do your like 100 Hindu squats, boom, 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 boom. Wait a minute, wait 5 minutes, wait 4 minutes, wait until you cool off. Bang out 10 or 8 deadlifts, good form. Wait a few minutes, 10, wait a few minutes, 10, wait a few minutes, or like 8, wait a few minutes, and then 10. Do that again. That's going to hit your back and that's going to hit all of your back and your trunk. And then maybe go for like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups every single day as a context. So like Hindu squats, sit-ups, push-ups every single day. Deadlifts 3 days a week. And if you could do some hangs, like you just hang, that'll do you some good. And what's going to happen is you're going to get bigger and stronger, okay? Your muscles are going to get larger somewhat, but mostly what you're going to do is you're going to be getting yourself much stronger. Okay, so this isn't so much like to get like gigantic. This is to make your muscles dense. And just get strong as shit. And then what we'll have is like, hopefully over time you build the momentum. Because that's where you're really going to do it. So let's just say you wind up really getting into this. You do this for 3 months. You're like, man, I'm feeling a lot stronger. Well, then you might get to a point where you're like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut some stuff out of my life. Because I love weightlifting so much, and I'm going to add this. So really it's about just getting the habit going and getting like small wins and gains going. And it's easy to do with weightlifting because like, boom, you instantly see the results. Also, like for women, I would say, and this is actually for almost everybody, it's better to train like below the titties, okay? With women, you're going to have more muscle mass in your legs. You're never going to have quite as big of a chest as men are, and shoulders and all that other crap. But guys, you need to train your legs too. Everybody needs to train their legs. That's what's going to allow you to run away. None of this arm shit. Bree gave up on being swole. She just walks her dog and gets yelled at. Also, Ray, Reframe Your Brain by Scott Adams. I might recommend this one. Because, like, I don't know what an example is. Like, so what is your thing? I don't have time to work out, or like whatever it was. Like, how do I work out with so little time? So it would be like the usual frame. I don't have enough time to do this. And then the reframe could be, I like this so much. How do I find time to do it? You gained a bunch of happy relationship weight, was doing really well, then started going to every restaurant. Yeah, dude, I hear you on that. The way that I avoid restaurants, by the way, is every time I eat something, so every meal I eat in my head, it costs 5 times as much. So if it's a $15 burger, because that's the world we live in now. Actually, here it's like 18. Let's just call it 20 because we're going to tip them too. And not a crappy tip. I mean, but anyway, so like $20. That burger is really $100. Over the course of the next 40 years or 30 years, whenever I retire, I imagine I could 5x whatever money I have right now, which makes me eat out less because I'm like, man, that's so freaking expensive. Let me see. And I get that happy relationship weight. Like, I gained a bunch of baby weight. Like, man, it's tough to be around a kid. Let me see. Bree says, Ray, I have bad joints and I can do silking and stuff. That sounds like gay shit. I have time to work out. I just have to get my head out of my butt. Boom. I would recommend Reframe Your Brain. This is a good book. Scott Adams and Joshua Lysick did it again. Anyways, it's really good. I strongly encourage it. Wrap your head around it, and just make the time. Like, I'm seriously in a point where it's like I'm not working out because I don't have the time for it, and really I don't have the time for it. Let me see. Adding it to your TBR list right now. Awesome. And it's an easy read. It's not hard at all. And it gets to it's got 160 reframes in it, so it's not like one of those books where you're sitting there trying to wait for it to get to the point. It gets to the it starts out at the point. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on because I'm starting to lose my voice because I'm getting sick of being sick. Anyways, actually, here was I going. Here's where Donald Trump got in so much fucking trouble. As he said, why do we need NATO? And why do we need all this intelligence operations? Why do we need all this stuff? Now, I think that's a valid question. Why do we need that crap? That seems like a great question. I have that talk with my wife all the time. It's like, well, why do we need this extra chair? Why do we need a howitzer? Why do we need an SUV? Why do we need, you should be auditing everything in your life all the time. As a businessman, that makes sense to me. Don't call me crazy. But what happens is these government official idiots who have been in the government for fucking ever and went to Princeton and Harvard are like, oh no, how could anybody question my job? I need to ruin America, is the solution that they had. So he comes out and he's just like, why do we have all these stupid craps? And then it's more of a need than a want. I don't think we need NATO. I legitimately don't think we need NATO. But why do we need a NATO? And so then people are like, oh, because of the Russias? And it's like, yeah, you mean the Soviet Union that collapsed a long time ago? Like, our biggest problem is China. Don't we need a PACTO? Don't we need to worry about the Pacific Rim? Shouldn't we be talking to, Japan and Australia? Like, who's going to take over the Atlantic? Africa? You know what I mean? Anyways, and so he comes out and says that, and then the bureaucracy of millions of jobs that are built upon our stupid government spending comes out and it needs to defend himself. What he did is he attacked the managerial class who cannot be fired except by the executive, the president of the United States, because the president could just be like, I'm just going to close the FBI. I don't know exactly how that works, but he could probably team up with the Congress and get rid of the FBI. And then all the people at the FBI are like, no, you can't get rid of the FBI, otherwise how are you going to set up Americans? And get innocent people killed while we're running operations to stop people from getting killed. And I'm not saying it one way, and I will get to your comments, ladies, in a second, but my point is that he questioned things that you're not supposed to question, and they're trying to ruin him, and he might get assassinated for it. Literally, that's what's happening. You can't question my validity as a person or whatever, and then they fucking freak out and get all genocidal. So Ray asks, I've been asking myself if I truly need something before buying it. 9 times out of 10, I say no. I used to have zero self-control. Same. That's how you build self-control. Part of my strategy was also just being freaking frugal. Where it's like, oh, I can't spend that much money. Look at how much money of retirement, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the solution I came up with in my head, which was the bad part, was like, whoa, well, I just need to not have any money, and then I won't spend it. Because here's the problem with your brain. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. I'm going to go ahead and move on. Rates of people going after Trump. Man, I think... I don't know if I have time to really dig into this one. I'll go ahead and tell you my conspiracy theory. And it is a conspiracy theory, which is I think that going after Donald Trump is a bit of a setup. So Trump indictments list for indictments quick. I'll trust CBS News for this. That's perfectly fine. Ray, you should read some Dr. Amen. You just don't got no time. And actually, yeah, Dr. Amen's awesome. You could just listen to his TED Talk and be like, whoa. Hey, ladies. State indictments from so blah, 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 blah. Juan. Alvin Bragg. So let's do this one. Federal indictment where blah, blah, blah. Judge Eileen Cannon. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Do that one. Boom. Let me see. Jack Smith. And trust me, I think this is going to be worth it. You're going to have to just hear me out here. Okay, so we got that one. Charge, blah, 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 blah. Tanya Chickton or whatever. Is her name? Blah, blah, blah. So we go here. Scott McAfee. Boom, boom. Last one, I promise. Fanny, command copy, go here, boop, 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 here. This is going to be one of those where it get me canceled. Okay, so Donald Trump, President of the United States of America. Twice elected President of the United States of America. Donald Trump. Soon to be 3 times. And that's actually what I mean. So if I can go back to the grifting thing for a second and just rage baiting and why I hate Tim Pool. I didn't mention Tim Pool. I don't think Donald Trump's going to win. Okay? And I'm not going to give people false hope saying that Donald Trump's going to win. I think we should figure out like what we need to do about the fact that Biden is about to win re-election when he can't even stay conscious or complete a sentence. Like that shows that America has much bigger problems than anything the president could do. Anyways, so let me go back to here real quickly. And so here's my conspiracy theory, and I'm going to spell it out for you like this in the most indecent way that I possibly can, because that's who it's me. Okay, so we're looking at the people going after Donald Trump. And it's Juan Mercado. Where did Juan go? Mirchan. So since we're not going to do that linky here, we're going to go back here and go like this real quick. So who's going to get Donald Trump? Some Mexican, some black guy, some whatever this shit she is, some white guy, some black lady, some white guy, some black lady. And so, what is it? 3 of the, like one of the judges, 2 of the prosecutors are black. I think what we are doing, I think what they are doing, yeah, what the heck? I think what they are doing is trying to stir up racial resentments between the MAGA base and Black America. I literally think that's a big chunk of this. And so it's going to be like, so for this election, you're going to see more white versus black stuff, white versus black stuff. I'm not sure if you've been on social media much this year, but it seems as though they're bringing back all the race stuff. And here's like another example I can give you real quick. As well as Olympic National Park is nice. Somebody's messaging me. Yep. Now, where was I going with this? So let me think of her name. I don't have her name. But let's go here. Cop killed pregnant woman. So Ohio. So this is. I'm going to warn you. There's some upsetting footage here. And so, and I'm not even reading what that is, but it's like. So here's this cop rolling up, and there's a woman who's about to get shot. Okay. So. Allegedly, she was shoplifting. Here's this cop who's saying, you need to step out of the car. And here's this other cop coming to back him up.
Shortly afterward, a second officer stands in front of the car.
So he's standing right there. His gun's drawn. And then she takes up and tries hitting the cop with the gun and the cop. So she tries running over a freaking cop. And the cop shoots her. Okay? Now, I don't know. I like... I hate this. So this is going to get blasted around everywhere because what they're trying to do is set up a bunch of like, you know, racial resentment stuff because, oh no, Donald Trump's running. We better try the race shit again. And I sat here trying to get upset about it and I couldn't. Okay. I just couldn't. Like, I didn't care. There was a part of like, I was just like, oh, here's this mother of 2 pregnant woman, 7 months pregnant, getting killed. And my give a shit meter was gone. okay? Like, I want to be outraged. However, my outrage button has been pushed so many times that I just don't care. Like, online social media doesn't upset me anymore, is really what I'm getting at, okay? Social media does not activate me. I don't sit there and watch it. Half the time I'm just like, I wonder if it's even real. Just kidding. I don't do that. I'm just like, oh, whatever. Now, this falls under one of my categories of if you resist arrest, I don't care, because, like, we're well aware of this in 2023, that if you resist the cops, they're going to fucking kill you. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, some guy just got 17 years for knocking over a fucking fence post. A fence post. What was it? A barricade. Knocking over a barricade. The guy knocked over a barricade and, knocked over, sorry, the wife was texting me, but they knocked over a barricade at the Capitol. Boom, 17 years. We might have a very harsh criminal justice system forming in the United States of America. So the last thing I'm going to do is screw with the cop. Number 2, and this is a point that I tried making, but I couldn't make because I'm in a digital gulag, which is, you know, maybe having the algorithm geared towards outrage and defiance and, like, always escalating, like it's always be escalating. Like, anytime there's a fight online, the best thing you can do is escalate it because it's going to get a bunch of stuff. Well, maybe if you teach people that, like, you know, behaviorally escalating situations in the real world's a really bad fucking idea, especially when there are cops there, maybe this girl would still be dead, like, or alive. I would actually blame the media here. I would absolutely blame social media and the media, news media, for this woman being dead, okay? Because of all the propaganda that black people get fed about the cops and, like, all kinds of situations. So, like, you know, they're so freaking stressed out that, oh my God, what's going on? And then, like, the media gets what they want. There's a dead black girl, and now they get to show it everywhere. And then people are going to say, why would a cop ever stand in front of a car? Maybe to keep her from leaving? I don't know, but whatever. But here's what my point is, Ray, Bree, and whoever might be listening on Twitter. X, I'm sorry, I dead named Twitter again. They're trying to stir up resentment between white people and black people, and I see it fucking everywhere. Like, on X, I've blocked so many different, I don't even remember all the terms, but I just stopped blocking everything that's a race fight. So if it's white people fighting black people, if it's black people fighting white people, or whatever it is, or just some sort of senseless crime, like, I refuse to watch it because, like, the algorithm is just pouring this stuff into our brain, because really, ultimately, what they want is kind of a big reset of the United States of America. So if we can all run around and kill each other, well, like, large cartels and banks and whatever take over, they will have amassed so much power in the future that we, the plebs, will never be able to do anything. If whites and blacks could get along, and Donald Trump is actually the key to a chunk of that, then boom, it's over. Then it's over. Like, if whites and blacks could get on the same page in this fucking country, they own whatever, like, they own whatever they take over, okay? I mean, you're talking about 80% of the population at that point. And they're actually not that different. Like, they're not that different groups of people, but the media tries to make us fucking different so we can all fight and do typical control stuff. There was actually a bigger point there. Oh, Donald Trump being the guy to unite it. And I'm not going to say it's because of the photo. Like, what the hell is wrong with conservatives? Like, I do not consider myself a conservative because I don't think I'm stupid. But, like, what in the hell? Like, here's the thing. If they can go after Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, they can fuck us 10 ways to Sunday, okay? Like, we're so screwed going up against these people. And so there was a privilege that white people had, and, you know, they talk about white people. There was a privilege of being white in this country fucking 70 years ago. I can assure you that. Like, I don't even need some sort of, like, mystical, magical watch to say, oh my God, it must be better to be white back then. No, that's pretty clear, okay? But what's happening now is white people, if they can do this to Donald Trump, they can do this to you and me, which is white people are getting treated like blacks in the 60s and 70s with the FBI coming in and trying to set them up and screw them over and everything. And so I don't really know what my point was there. I lost it, ladies, except for the fact that we're screwed. We should work together, and we should stop listening to all the race baiting, which is about to be fed our way, which I do not expect the MAGA base to do that, because always be escalating. Like, they're always going to be escalating. I don't know. That's all I got. because I got texted. Now, back to the rage stuff. So let's do some Hawaii shit for a minute here. The Hawaiians could really fix this, but I don't know if they are. Now, what was the place in Hawaii? Hawaii Fire Lanai. Race bit drives me nuts. It does me too. Don Liqueur, after announcing starts of fun, blah, 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 blah. The back found Maui fires. Lahaina. I'll go ahead and play this for you, just to give you an idea. And this will actually kind of tie into some other themes of the show, I think. I have not seen this clip.
Police officer that was over there, he should be investigated. I was told by people who escaped there on foot that the officer had blocked the road. People could not get out. My brother literally had to go cut the chain off of the old sugar mill camp area to let people out of the top of Kilauea Mauka because the roads were all blocked because the police were blocking it. We want accountability. It needs to be investigated.
I need to just turn that off because that is Lahaina. Thank you, Brie. I have to turn that off because that's way too, like, look at the Illuminati and what they're doing. So, if you haven't been paying attention to the fires, good. I mean, there's like hundreds of dead children probably. But we don't know because the media is not doing its job here, because the media is trying to get us pissed off about this or that, but not really something where the Democrats were totally in control of a state and you have hundreds of dead children as a result of government incompetence. So what that guy was talking about is how the cops block the road. And actually, I think I wrote a big chunk about this. Race hoax, but you look at enough, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. I did write stuff about this. So one of the things was there was the escape route for the people in this area, and it was blocked because the road up ahead had a bunch of down power lines. And so what happened is the people sat there in their cars, and they would like try to go, and then the cop's like, no, you can't go that way. There's down power lines that way. Yeah, but there's a fucking fire right there, and it's coming this way. And the cop's like, you can't go because of the fucking blah, 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 blah. So here's the problem. And so going back to the previous segment, cops are idiots, okay? Let me see. Ray, I've seen tons of celebrities ask for donations for Hawaii, but I haven't seen anything else. Cool. Ray, we're talking hundreds of dead children, probably. And we still don't know because they're not releasing the information. They are shutting this thing up. They are like, shut up. Because ultimately, and this is what I'm going to say probably happened. Now, probably, I'm not 100% attached to it, is it's just total incompetence. It's like what killed all of these people was government incompetence. So you have the government administrator of the cop who's just like, you guys can't go, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen enough, like, get mad at police videos over the last 15 years to see like cops stupidly kill people over and over and over again because they're fucking idiots, because a lot of cops are just fucking idiots. No offense to all the smart cops out there, but some of your friends are stupid. And so anyways, like there's people get killed because of stupid cops. So there's stupid cop who did that thing. And then there's allegedly stupid government official who wouldn't release the water in time because he didn't know how bad it was. And they have like such control over water in Lahaina or whatever. So it took them like 5 hours to fill the reservoirs for where the cops need the fire water, which I would actually need to like fact check that because I don't believe anything I see off Twitter. At some point, I believed a fair amount on Twitter, but I don't believe that. Like, I don't necessarily believe that. But do I see, like, some government official just being like, no, don't release the water. That's not big of a fire. Whatever, blah, 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 blah. Because, no, I'm in charge. Because here's the thing. Petty tyrants love to fucking use their power over people. They love to be like, no, you can't do that because I'm in charge. Look at how in charge I am. I'm going to show you that I'm in charge. So, Ray, Bree, what am I saying here? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, is actually what I'm saying. So there are some fucking idiots in Hawaii who work for the government who got people killed. That's what I'm alleging. At the same time, I'm not going to say get rid of the government. Okay, I'm not going to say, we need to get rid of government because blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, you know, I would really like it if there's some enforcement agency that can keep somebody from putting, like, I don't know, a coal-fired power plant in the house right next to me, or a slaughterhouse in the house right next to me, where it's like they're just going to dump a bunch of blood onto my property or whatever the hell it is. So, no, we need to have a government that regulates things and it regulates trade and it also says, no, if you act up, we're going to hit you with a fucking stick. But in times of crisis, don't count on government officials to make a good choice. This is what I'm getting at. So let's just say, Ray, you're in your car. There's a cop who says, you can't go this way, but you look and you're like, oh no, behind me is death. And just like, get out of there. Just listen to your senses and like listen to the fear inside of you that says, if I do not get out of here, I'm going to freaking die. And then listen to that thing and then drive. And then you leave. Like, that's what you do. You leave. See, that's me shifting so you can leave. And third, really it's first. You should burn and then second. Like, and maybe third gear once you're safe. Once you're safe, you can put it in third. But until then, it's all first and second, okay? In case you need to like spin it around and then reverse over like some people who are in your way, and then you spin it around again, and then first and second, okay? And then third when you're safe. That was your driving lesson for the day, ladies. Let me see. And so to further this, do you know where the water shut off in your house is? Do you know where the gas shut off in your house is? I live in the Pacific Rim, okay? I live literally right next to a fucking gigantic active volcano, okay? That it ain't dormant. There's a big volcano near Jacob's house. Like, it's like 30 miles from my house, okay? It's no bigger. It's beautiful. But I also live in an area that has lots of earthquakes. So, you know where I know where my there's my gas shut off. Cool. There's my water shut off. Oh no, if there's a big earthquake, what am I going to do? I'm going to shut off my gas because I don't want my house to blow up. Because do I trust like the government or whoever to shut off the gas? No, I don't. I'm going to shut off the gas and get the fuck out of here. Like, that's my plan. So know what kind of disasters are possible in your area and how to get away from them. And then don't count on the government to save you. And if they do, just be grateful that things worked out for you. Let me see. Race Hoax. Oh, so Scott Adams is calling this the Race Hoax 2024. So what's going to happen is you're going to see more videos of black people getting killed by cops. And you're also going to see more videos of black people beating the shit out of white people. And just expect that to just be hammered in everybody's eyes until like November 5th or November 6th until the election's over. Unless Donald Trump wins, and then expect that for 4 more years. That's it. That's all I had. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, if you were feeling genocidal, angry, hateful, you want to just kill everybody on the planet, maybe go hang out with one of your friends and get off social media. That's all I got. I don't have anything else. Maybe just, I'm not even going to say go outside and touch grass, because I've gone outside, I've touched grass, and it doesn't make me less genocidal. Hanging out with anarchists, we're like, we're going to smoke some cigarettes and maybe drink a beer, play a game of chess. I whooped his ass. Like, I haven't played chess in 10 years. Bam, 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 corner. Because, and Bree, you might know this about me, and actually I discovered something about myself playing chess, which I already knew I was competitive. I'm really aggressive. Like, I am so... Ray, growing up in New Mexico has made me default aggressive. Like, I am so aggressive that the people here don't know how to handle it. And I'm starting to realize, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. All from chess. Can you believe that? Because he didn't know it, like, seriously. I was just, like, so freaking... Like, it was just seriously, like, bam, 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 bam. My marks are cornering your king and just assassinating him. Like, I have no defense in chess. And Bree says New Mexico is rough. It is, man. Like, if you want to have strong kids do that, oh my God, we're almost done with all my stuff. What are some other things that people are talking about? Masks coming back. Are the masks going to come back? They're going to try to bring back the mask. There's high COVID numbers. And Bree, you might be able to talk to this more than I could. Are they trying to bring masks back? Do people talk about how much there is COVID? Because, like, here's the thing. Because, again, people are like the conservatives, we want to put it that way, like, the conservative retards are like, oh, they're going to bring back masks, and they're going to do that over my dead AR-15, or whatever the crap they say. And I don't think they're bringing back masks. I think they might bring back mask mandates with the, knowing nobody's going to use them and they're not serious. Because they want to, like, rig the election somehow. And, like, oh, if it's mandatory masks everywhere because there's a pandemic, we can have mail drop boxes everywhere. I don't know, how's my sound in, facey video, by the way? I'm trying to read what this is doing, and it's whatever. Excuse me. So that's that one. African coups. Holy shit. I can't, like, this is part of the, like, the news is so overwhelmingly so overwhelming that it's hard to know what the hell is going on in the world. And just how badly Joe Biden has destroyed. And it, actually, so this was my face is a bit pink. That might be me. Like, you know, people were complaining about how much the United States, like how much Joe Biden or Donald Trump was like destroying our norms and people couldn't trust the United States anymore and we can't count on them and blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the thing. Joe Biden is destroying the global order of the United States of America running things. And it's really like the idiot followers in his administration that are just destroying everything. And I mean, like, what do I mean by destroying everything? I mean, like, destroying everything. Like, the control, the power, the influence that the United States has built up over the last 75 to 100 years is getting fucking leveled by this chunk of petty, stupid Democrats who are more interested in, like, here it is. Here's the easiest way I can describe it, people. Everybody is going to be up in arms about that girl getting killed on Monday. Some people are, okay? Most people, I think, are just, like, tapped out, don't care. And also don't pay attention. Like, I think a lot of people have gotten off social media, or it's just fractured and they're in different places. So it's hard to have, like, you know, this one mono voice or whatever. But, like, you know, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, because she was the Secretary of State and he was the President of the United States, destroyed Libya, the most prosperous nation in Africa, and they returned open-air slave markets to Africa. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama returned open-air slave markets where black people are openly sold on a fucking podium like cattle at the state fair. The black president brought that. And so what are people upset about? This girl tried running over a cop and he shot her. Open-air slave markets, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And so and Bree hates the Clintons. Of course she does. But here's my point, which is like, so that group of idiots is just leveling the global order because in their brains, oh my God, this girl got shot is so much more important than human trafficking on a scale of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people being sold into slavery after we destroyed the political leadership of the most prosperous nation on the African continent. Idiots. They're a bunch of idiots. And so here's where I'm going with this. So we have the freaking coups all over Africa. So where do we have one going on right now? Why is the Gabon? Oh, there's a coup in Gabon. I actually don't know of an easy way for me to search this up, but let me see if I can. There's media. I really just want pictures. That would really help me out. Like, here, maybe I'll ask the internet. Okay, pictures of countries in Africa having a coup right now map. Oh, that actually looks accurate. So let's blow this one up a little bit and see if I can find my glasses here. Oh, so this is in the last... Oh my God, that ain't even all of them. Jesus Christ. So, coup in Mali, August 2021, 2022. Attempted coup in Guinea-Bissau, 2022. Coup in Guinea, 2021. Coup in Burkina Faso, 2022. Attempted coup in Niger, 21. Coup in Chad, 21. Coup in Sudan. And there's some more coups going on. And what do I mean? What does that mean? It means that the Africans are done with the colonialists. And God help us all. Like, one of these countries is where uranium comes from. And, like, we get a lot of rare earth minerals out of Africa. And then the Africans are saying, you know what? We's is kings, too. And so they're telling France and the United States to get effed. Well, the Chinese are busy, like, stoking a bunch of this on or egging a bunch of this on, I imagine. Like, I think there's a no-fly zone over Niger right now. I'm honestly, I can't tell, like, I am not the biggest expert on what is happening in Africa right now because I don't have the time to pay attention to all this crap. Which is another part of what's happening right now. Footprints of Russian Wagner group on the African continent. Oh my God, we forgot about talking about Wagner. I don't know if we're going to get to that one. Russian Wagner group, the Wagner, we've talked about them before, they're a private military contractor. And so what they do is they've been fighting wars all over Africa. That way the Russian military can't go into it. So the Russians say, we don't know what's going on. It's a corporation that's doing all of that. So they can get their resources out of Africa. So this is kind of like the new gold rush is Africa. And then you have the West on one side. So we'll just say America, France. And then we have like China, Russia on the other side, and they're all trying to divvy this stuff up and like, you know, take it over. And these people are like saying, no, screw you. We're going to have our own shit. And so Africa is faced with, do we want to side with the Americans who look at what they did to Libya after they went ahead and signed a treaty with Libya to not develop any nuclear weapons, or should we trust the Chinese? Well, you know what? The Chinese haven't overthrown us yet. Maybe we should just go with them. So there's like a whole chunk of the globe that's going to go ahead and sign up with China, and they're not going to like it either. But that's the moral of the story. I just want to let you know that there's 5 countries in Africa currently going through coups right now, and we can't keep it together. But we're going to go after Donald Trump. Now, here's actually, I want to do the last one. We're going to end on a high note. I'm going to text my wife back real quickly. No, not you. It sounds good. We'll wrap up soon. Okay, ladies. Are you still there? Am I losing you? Am I just babbling? Sorry, I feel like I talk too much. Anyways, let's check out this guy. So here's some... So these guys are famous. So remember how I was saying they're going to try stirring up a whole bunch of racist stuff? So they're going to try to stir up a whole bunch of racist stuff. So not only are you going to see more like, you know, videos of cops killing black people, you're going to see a lot more Nazis.
I think Biden's bearing Trump because he sends rockets to Ukraine.
In support of Ukraine, you mean?
Hell Ukraine, hell Azov.
Tell me this, Christopher. You are, you know, a sizable gathering, but
I think Biden's bearing Trump because he sends rockets.
He sounds like I'm a talk show host. I got to talk. You're right. Am I talking? Did I stop talking? Do I need to keep talking? I don't even remember what I said. I'm just trying to fill the dead air. Anyways, so there was like some Nazi protests, and here's some other Nazis, and like here's them being Nazis.
Once again.
So when you look at... Look who shot up! Oh my God, Lord Schiller!
Okay, those guys are going to totally get this stream demonetized. Bria's met some very nice Nazis lately. Well, yeah, they're like Sling Blade or Lenny from, you know, of Mice and Men. These are not intellectual giants, okay? They're 2-digit IQs, and they're often very nice. Except for these guys. So anyways, here's like the big Nazi leader, and people are like, oh my God, look at this Fed. Which I don't know if it's a Fed. Like, here's one for you. Let me play a little bit more of this clip. If there's hate in your heart, why that power? Like, look at that guy. Is that a Fed with like his whole face tattooed and everything? And this guy with his like neck tattooed and everything. Like,
support of.
Now these guys with like their glasses. These guys don't even look like Feds. They look like little 4chaning weenies.
Hell Ukraine, hell Azov.
Now, allegedly, this guy is also trained in Ukraine with the Azov battalion, which is like, that's really lovely. And I don't know if I believe that. And then who they were going after was Laura Loomer over here, who she was running for Congress. Laura Loomer is a legitimate Republican. And is just hated by the Republican Party. Anyways, so keep in mind, this guy's Nazi. He's the big, bad, scary Nazi guy.
I don't care about my wife. She can fuck and be with any dudes you want. Just from like fun.
Did you catch that, Ray?
I don't care about my wife. She can fuck and be with any dudes you want. Just from like fun, flirty texts to like nasty in a couple days. So I know what's happening, and I'm not dumb, and I don't. And it's not even like I am a clock. I am a
The Nazi leader is a cuck whose wife is fucking black dudes. What? 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 This is who I'm supposed to be scared of? Some guy who's crying about his wife on the fucking internet? Like, you know how many times I've cried about my wife? No offense, dear, I love you. Never? Never? My wife... I've been married... we've been married for however long we've been married. Like 7 years or something like that. We've been together for 8 or 9 years. Okay? We've been together a while. She's seen me cry once, and that's when we put our dog down. And I did cry. I didn't like... I have to blow my nose. I was crying enough, but it wasn't like ugly crying. But yeah, no, we just had to put our fucking coolest dog down ever. This guy... But this guy's supposed to scare me? Like this guy? This Nazi guy? Look at that. Oh...
That's Christopher. Because he sends rockets to Ukraine.
Look at my swastika. Look at my swastika. No, she's gonna roll on whoever she's gonna roll on. I don't care. She can fuck whoever she wants. That's my show for the day, people. So remember, when they're talking about Nazis, remember that they're idiots. And that, go ahead and close all those tabs. Thank you, Brave. That's it. That's all I have. That's all. Is there anything you ladies want to talk about? Because other than that, I'm going to go ahead and just bounce. Because it's time to wrap this show up. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun and meaningful and full of happy joyness. Some joy. And beyond that, let's turn off the captions. Bree says, Nazis are wrong. They are. And, like, the fact that Nazism is making, like, somewhat of a comeback is... I blame the left. If we want the truth for, like, why I think there's Nazis, A, it's because there's always going to be Nazis. Like, there's always going to be people who are like, ooh, I'm a fucking idiot. But I think that the left crying about Nazis for 8 years gave the Nazis some ammo. So Bree gave you your list. Oh yeah, gut health. I didn't even talk about gut health. I'm sorry. It was nice to see you. I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about gut health real quickly because you did give me the list and I didn't talk about it and I apologize. So my simple advice on gut health is, number one, you need to get good colonies of bacteria in your stomach and maintain them. And it's going to be real hard to do the older you get. And the reason for that is if you have colonies of bacteria that die off in your stomach, and I don't remember, they're like the childhood ones. I should actually look at this stuff since I have kids now. But if those colonies wind up dying off, you can replace them as long as you're eating certain probiotic foods. But you're never going to actually just get them to stay there all the time. So if you want to fix your gut health, kombucha is something, Greek yogurt's another thing. Just go ahead and introduce some good bacteria to get some good bacteria going in there. Your dog licking your face is pretty good because they're so disgusting that it actually gets a bunch of bacteria that'll break down dog ass in your stomach. So that's good. But then there's also don't do bad things to your gut biome, and bad things would be eating pills. So eating pills just wrecks your stomach. If you take ibuprofen every single day, God, I feel sorry for your stomach bacteria. Pharmaceuticals are really hard on that stuff. My advice is go ahead and eat. Here's another one, non-soluble fibers. So I have soluble fiber, which is stuff that digests, but then also non-soluble fiber is stuff that does not digest, which will help you poop everything out, and it keeps your poops strong and good. So eat your fiber, kids. Eat your bran and your apples and your carrots and your celery and such. Hey dear, I texted you. What's up? Hello? Hello? What? Anyways, I don't even know what to say now. I'm so lost. because now it's an incomplete. It's an open tab. It's an open tab. If I could have closed the tab, that would be fine. But now the tab's open, and now my brain's like, I wonder what she needed. Anyways, so tab, stomach, gut biome, your pills, your soluble fiber, and insoluble fiber. So what that's going to do is it's going to flush out like a bunch of, like your bile. So you have your bile duct in your stomach, and you have your bile, which is what helps you break down all the stuff in your stomach and whatever. That needs to be recycled too. So what happens is if you're not eating fiber and you're not flushing this stuff out of your system, you just get this old crappy bile build up in your system, and it gets yucky and nasty, and it stops working as well as it does. And it's good. And so Bree takes 21 medications a day, so that sucks. That does. So you can do other things to try and like mitigate the damage of the pills. But the fastest, like the thing to do would be get off pharmaceuticals if you're trying to take care of your gut. If you want to get like optimal gut biome. Okay. What's another one? Don't eat sugar. Don't eat refined sugar. So sugar gets candida growing in your stomach, and also like some kind of yeast, I want to say. And so if you're eating refined sugar, it's feeding the little sugar bugs in your tummy, and the thing that they want more than anything is more sugar. So your brain's going to be like, oh my god, I need to eat more sugar. And that's actually my biggest problem is like, I'll eat a little bit of sugar, and then I eat sugar for a month straight, and then I'm like, oh my god, I just gained 10 pounds because I've just been eating sugar. But if you don't eat sugar, you don't crave it. And also the thing with eating sugar all the time is it's going to crowd out your good bacteria. It's just like it just takes over the petri dish of your gut. So what are the tips? Avoid pills, except when you need to take them. Eat soluble and insoluble fiber. Take probiotics like Greek yogurt, kombucha, kimchi, pickled vegetables is another one. Get a dog to lick your face. It's disgusting, but I'm serious, it works. And that's about it. Okay? I'm going to go because I need to go feed the kids. I'm going to feed the kids and bathe the kid. I hope you have a wonderful day, ladies. I will be back in a week or two with another show. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. You can message me and meme me on the internet. And love me. Love me. Love me. I need love.